Hey guys, I haven't made a video in a long time. Well, maybe not a long time, but you know what I mean. I've been on T for a month. Yay me. I did my first injection by myself on Thursday, which was pretty cool. So I'm not afraid of stabbing myself anymore. That might be a complete lie. I'm still a little afraid of stabbing myself, but at least I got the first one done, and now I feel like I'm comfortable to do it by myself. So that's pretty awesome. Some changes. I don't know if you can notice, but I've noticed that my voice has gotten deeper, which is really cool. And I feel like I'm starting to go through puberty again for the second time, which is also pretty cool, but my voice cracks sometimes, which is not so awesome, especially when I'm like trying to hit that Mariah Carey high note in the car. That's when I really notice the voice cracking. I'm starting to get more muscle mass, like in my biceps and my back and my shoulders for sure. Getting a little wider. I've just basically found that it's a little bit easier for me to build muscle and find definition in my muscles, which is pretty cool. I have more increased acne, which is kind of not very much fun, but I'm sure that once I get on, the hormones for a while, it'll start to balance out. It's just kind of that big rush of hormones all at once that's sort of, again, shoving me through puberty for the second time, so that's awesome. My appetite, I have found it fluctuates, so sometimes I don't really feel like eating anything at all, and then sometimes I feel like I could eat everything in sight. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me sometimes, but, so, I guess I hope that'll balance out eventually. I'm not really sure, but that's something that I just sort of noticed. I also got a new binder, which is really awesome. I love it. It's much more comfortable than my other binder, which I showed, I think, in the last video, or one of the last videos. This one is black, so I'll just show you. It's black. It just looks like a tank top, kind of, and it's much thinner material, and it's softer. It's from, I wrote it down, GC2B, and I'll put a link in the video to their website, but good job, guys. Keep up the good work. And it wasn't expensive. It was like $35, so that is wicked awesome for a binder. I think this week I sort of wanted to talk a little bit about how I'm starting to feel normal, which is pretty awesome for me. I've kind of, ever since I cut my hair and have like a feminine voice and, I clearly dress masculinely, I kind of, when I go out in public, other people's reaction to me has sort of always made me feel like I'm some kind of freak. Like, people point and stare, or they'll, like, talk behind my back, and I'm like, it's not like I have devil horns or a tail. Like, I don't feel like a circus animal, but sometimes, other people in public have made me feel like that. One of the biggest places that I've felt like a freak, I guess you would say, is when I was trying to use the restroom, like the women's restroom. I had some really bad experiences in the women's restrooms. I got yelled at a lot. When I was a member at 24 Hour Fitness, there was a lady in one of the locker rooms that was yelling and screaming at me to get out because I was not in the right restroom or locker room. And even after I had, like, taken off my shirt and my sports bra was on so that I could change into my workout clothes, she was still yelling at me that I was, like, in the wrong place. So I've had some people that were not very nice to me, which is quite the bummer. But I have pretty thick skin, so it doesn't bother me all that much. I mean, it does bother me, but I have thick skin, so I can only imagine how someone in my shoes would feel that, doesn't let those things roll off their shoulders so easily or off their back so easily. Like, that would be really hurtful and hard to deal with. So I think a good message for everyone is be an ally. Like, if you see someone being bullied for anything, for gender identity issues, for how they look, for how they're dressed, for anything, step in, stop it. Just step in and help that person, because not everyone feels comfortable standing up for themselves, and especially if there's a big group of people, because I've had groups of, like, guys. It happened at the Rockies game just a little bit ago. There was a group of guys that was making fun of me, and I was by myself, so it's like, what am I going to do when there's a big group of guys that's making fun of me and I'm by myself? So if you see it happening, put a stop to it. Stand up with that person. At least go over and ask them if they're okay. Go over them. Don't let them be that by themselves. Like, being in that situation by yourself is the worst. It feels terrible. Like, if you can take one thing away from this video, just, be that person that's going to stand up and go help them, because not everyone is capable of standing up for themselves or feels comfortable or is able to do it. Like, everybody could use a little help in that area. I think one of the worst questions that I hear all the time is from little kids, like, "Oh, mommy, is that a boy or a girl?" And it's like, like, that makes me feel like I'm not even a human being. I'm just an it. Like, the mom's like, "Oh, it's a girl," like, that makes me feel like like, I'm not even a human. It's just, I'm an it. And I think that's terrible, and I think that we need to work on accepting people, not for what their gender is or whatever, not defining them by that, but treating them like people. Like, I don't think your gender is all that important for interacting with a person on a daily basis. Like, you don't need to know if it's a boy or a girl in order to interact with them on like a face-to-face human basis. So I think that as people, we should be more accepting and tolerant of other people, even if it doesn't, if that person is different or unique, or something that they do doesn't match our beliefs or our morals. Like, maybe our morals is a little bit different, because if something doesn't match my morals, I'm more amped to stand up to it. But like, let's be more accepting and not single out people, especially when we're in groups, because being a victim of that, it definitely does not feel good. I don't like being made to be like a freak, or like I'm different from everybody else, because I'm not. And nobody's really all that different from everybody else. We're all human beings. So that was one thing I wanted to talk about. And then the last thing, I've been watching I Am Kate, which is the series that Caitlyn Jenner has, which I want to applaud her for like the wonderful job she's been doing as an advocate for the transgender community. She's really been educating herself, which is awesome to see, because I was a little nervous and I thought that the show was going to be more like a reality show, but it's not. So that's pretty awesome. Well, it is, but it's not. So she pointed out something, that it's harder sometimes for males transitioning to female, because if they've already gone through puberty and they've already experienced some of those changes, their bone structure might be bigger, they might have bigger hands, bigger feet, they might be really tall. It's hard to find women's shoes that fit like a size 10 or a size 13. Like, that's not easy. And a lot of the times I feel like those male to female transgender people get targeted for bullying and all kinds of terrible things. There have been a large number of male to female transgender individuals who have been lynched and killed lately. Like, this is 2015 and this is still happening. Like, people are still doing this to other people, and that's something that we really need to think about. It's not okay, and we really need to do something about it, and it starts with us. Like, it starts in here. You have to stand up to it. You have to not tolerate that bullying. You can't perpetuate the cycle, I guess is what I'm saying. So that's pretty much it. I just kind of wanted to get up on my soapbox and say my little piece. But I'll keep you updated with changes. I'm going to have some pictures at the end of this video so you can compare like my 1 month changes. They're not, monumental, but they're pretty big to me, because I'm excited to see that some changes are happening. So if you have any questions, you can always message me on Instagram if you don't feel comfortable sharing on here. If not, just leave me a comment and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. So thanks, guys.
It's not my weekend, but it's gonna be